if I was naturally born big, right? And I walked up to some skinny kid and said, "Skinny kid, I want you to become as big as Sam Sulek, bro. You're skinny as hell." Now, would that even be nice to say to the skinny kid? I mean, considering if the skinny kid did not work out, if the skinny kid was, eating junk food in his mom's crib, that would be a valid point to say to the skinny kid. But what if I told you that skinny kid works out every day, 6 times a week, right? He does bench press, he does all these lifts, right? And he's trying his best as possible. But you, naturally born bigger, right? Naturally like carry more fats. You say, "Man, this guy's skinny as hell. Why is he so skinny, man? You're skinny. You gotta work harder." You tell that kid to work harder. Now, would that even be like nice, right? I remember back when I first started lifting, right? I lifted for about I was like 7, 8 months, 6, 7, 8 months in, right? And my homie, he was a pretty, fatty kid. He all started lifting the same time as me, right? So naturally, if you carry more fat, you just look bigger. So I went to the gym with him, right? I went to the gym with him to work out because, hang out with this buddy of mine. And he was like, "Bro, check out my calf muscles, man. Your calf muscles are skinny. Your calf muscles, they're so small, bro. Look, check out my calves. Check out my biceps, bro." Hear me out, kid. Listen, kid. You're the reason why your your freaking that body part is so big is because your calf insertions are bigger than mine, right? Your insertions are like smaller, right? My insertions are bigger. So like, the muscle looks smaller, it's longer. So but hear me out. This is the point I'm saying. Genetics play a huge role in bodybuilding and looking stronger, right? That you can't just really compare yourself to a person that is, naturally more fatter than you, naturally carries more fat, or a person that, looks different, right? Just because they're bigger doesn't mean, you're not putting in the work, right? At that time, I was putting in the work. I was lifting 6 days a week, bro. I was, I guess I could have been eating more, but I was still lifting a lot, right? And I was living a healthy lifestyle too. I was playing basketball every day. And I was like, "Bro, this guy is making fun of me for being skinny when genetically speaking, like I'm doing what I can." I mean, I could be eating more, I could be exercising more, but I'm already doing what I can. So why compare, right? And some of the times these motherfuckers, they don't even work that hard anyway. They like lift and then they don't even do cardio and stuff, and they just somehow look bigger than you, like, bro. So back to what I was saying, right? So these just somehow look bigger than you. So why even compare yourself, right? Let me ask you this question now. Why do you work out? Do you work out to attract the ladies? Or do you work out to attract the men? Do you work out to stay fit? Right? Because if you work out to stay fit, then there's no need to get, too massively big. Because if you're already fit, if you're already like naturally, healthy, right? You don't need to look too big because most of the time, like these bodybuilders, they live unhealthy lives. We as humans, right? We as are the skinny guys, we the skinny guys, we don't have to be, too big to be healthy. These guys, they be eating like McDonald's, Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts to look that big. And that's like, bro, we don't need to be eating that. Us guys, we don't need to be eating like junkies make like look feel horrible just to get bigger, right? For other men's approval. Oh, I live to be more attractive now, right? I live to be more attractive. Well, okay, let me ask you this now. If you live to be more attractive now, most of like the see you see those polls, right? You see those like you see those street interviews, right? They're like rate the most attractive men, right? They show you 4 pictures and they ask the girl, which one is the most attractive? The bodybuilders, they get like they don't get as much votes as the skinny guys. Like you it's not like the skinny guys. Of course they work out. These skinny guys work out. Like by skinny I mean by muscular, but they just, not as big as the bodybuilders, right? These these skinny guys, they get like 80%, 70% of the votes by ladies. So by saying that you work out to get big, like you need to get big, right? It's clearly for dudes, right? If you work out to attract ladies, you don't really need to have like such a big bulk of build, right? You don't gotta be like Samsu, like you don't gotta be any of those big guys. Us skinny guys actually have the advantage because we don't look too intimidating to the ladies, right? We don't look too, scary, massive. Sure, some ladies are attracted to that stuff, and that's perfect. That's their style, right? But if you were born skinny, right, and no matter what you do, imagine how much you eat, you just stay skinny. Getting super big is just not your territory, bro. I'm sorry, it's not your territory. But that's good because we still attract, we pull, bro. We pull, right? We still pull. I remember this. The reason why I say this is because I'll bring up a story actually about not being in your territory, right? I back in eighth grade, a very young guy, very small guy, right? And I joined this club. It was like a face painting club, but you could be the cashier, you could be the guy that does the marketing. But since everything was full, I was forced to actually do like the face painting. I don't actually know shit about painting faces, right? Listen, I don't know crap about painting faces. I am not artistic. I have never drew a day in my life. But that day I got pulled into face painting. And I told the teacher, I was like, no, teacher, this is not my strengths. This is not where I eat. But the teacher was like, oh, try it, try it. Guess what happened? I got freaking bumbaclotted, bro. All the parents were like saying, this 12-year-old, don't let this 12-year-old paint my daughter's face, bro. Like, it was clearly not my territory. And this is with bodybuilding too, right? If you're born skinny and no matter how much you eat, right? I eat a lot. I eat the most out of my family plus more, right? I eat like hella. People come up to me when I eat out with friends, right? Friends come up to me, they'd be like, "Damn, Jalen, you eat a lot. Actually eat a lot. It's surprising how skinny you are. You don't understand, like, bro. I eat till I gag, bro. I eat like a lot, right? Now, in the case of face painting is not my territory, right? I could have been the cashier, but the teacher just forced me to become like the actual face painter. And how that turned out, I got humiliated, which is not bad, but like when it gets to some certain degree, you understand, right? Same as bodybuilding, right? People tell you to be all jacked. Motherfucker, that's not your territory. You don't gotta worry about pleasing other men. You gotta be confident in yourself, right? You gotta be confident that you've been working hard, you've been, hitting the gym consistently. Although you don't look too big because you're naturally born skinny, right? It's just not your territory. It's okay. And we pool, like we pool. It's not like we don't pool because we are too skinny, bro. Motherfucker, we pool, bro. What are you talking about? Bro, this so more of the story, bro. It's okay to be skinny, bro. It's okay to be skinny. If you're putting in the work, if you're eating more and you just can't get big, it's okay, bro, because that's our body type. That's our body type. Like leave the big guys, the big guys. We eat where we eat. So yeah, stay confident, bro. Stay confident. Lock it, bro. Let's get it. Let's get it, bro.